Welcome to tonight's Saturday Night Special, episode 93.
My name is Show Adiemi. I'm a Christian financial advisor. I'm the host of the Dollar Savvy podcast. And I challenge you to invest in yourself, invest in others, develop your influence, impact the world by using your time, your talents, and your treasures to live out your calling. Find your path to financial freedom. And one way to be inspired to do that is to listen to my friend, Scott Mater, the Inspired Stewardship podcast.
See, the truth is, the only way you can get better at productivity, the only way you can get more of the right things done is to actually spend the hard work figuring out what are the right things that you want to get done, and then actually spend the work putting things on the calendar, committing to them, finding other people to hold you accountable to them.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Inspired Stewardship podcast. If you truly desire to become the person who God wants you to be, then you must learn to use your time, your talent, and your treasures for your true calling. In the Inspired Stewardship podcast, you will learn to invest in yourself, invest in others, and develop your influence so that you can impact the world.
In tonight's Saturday Night Special, I talk with you about why I believe that time management is actually a myth. I share why you need to stop thinking in terms of how you manage your time and instead pay attention to energy, to focus, and productivity. I also talk about why focusing on time management actually gives you an easy out and keeps you from making progress. One area that a lot of folks need some help with is around the area of productivity. Getting not just more things done, but actually getting the right things done can be really tough. I've got a course called Productivity for Your Passion that's designed to help you do this and then to hold you accountable and walk with you so that you can tailor productivity not just to be getting more done, but actually getting the right things done. What's more, we take the approach of looking at your personality and how you actually look at things in the world and tailor the productivity system to your personality. Because the truth is, a lot of the systems that are out there are written really well for somebody with a particular personality type, but if you have a different approach to things, they just don't work. But there's tools and techniques and approaches that you can take that will work for anyone. And we help you do that in Productivity for Your Passion. Check it out over at inspiredstewardship.com/launch. I've talked before about how one of the things that I coach on is around productivity and how important it is to really focus on not just getting more things done, but getting the right things done. And one of the terms that people will use when they're searching for getting better at their time is time management. But I like to say the truth is time management is a myth. It doesn't really exist. It's not something that you can do. It's not a goal that you should have. It's not something you should even pay attention to. And yet at first glance, it seems like that's exactly what I coach on is time management. But here's the trick. Here's the reason why I say time management is a myth. Let's look at what it's talking about. It's saying that you are managing your time, that you are taking control of your time, because that's what the word management means. It means the process of dealing with or controlling things. To manage time means to control time. And unless you have superpowers or unless you've got a time machine in your back pocket, the truth is we can't control time. Time is simply something that exists, something that we pass through, something that we use to measure what comes first and what comes second. Time is a finite resource that we're all delivered the same amount of. And to think about controlling it would mean that we could make there be more time or less time. But the truth is, instead, it's really not about managing time. It's about managing yourself. It's about paying attention to how is your energy level going? How is your focus going? Where is your productivity? What is happening in your life? See, the truth is I only coach on one thing: talent, people, how we view and use our own resources. It's not about your money and it's not about your time. It's about you. It's about learning to manage yourself. It's about paying attention to, why do you feel like you're wasting time? Why do you feel like you're spending time in the wrong places? Why do you feel like your energy and your focus and your productivity is getting blown up or not working? See, the interesting thing is somebody will spend 2 hours watching TV, but they won't spend 2 hours educating themselves or developing themselves or even just planning their week. They'll complain about not having enough money, but they won't spend time and energy to figure out where their money is going. They'll complain about always missing the kids' events, but then they won't actually schedule their time in such a way that they can make those events. See, most of us don't actually look at time as something that we need to pay attention to. Instead, we look at time as something that we should control. We should manage. And this is the wrong way to look at it. It ends up being an easy out. What ends up happening is, as long as it's time's fault, you don't have to do the hard work of looking at yourself. You don't have to do the hard work of figuring out what it is that you're going to do. See, the truth is, the only way you can get better at productivity, the only way you can get more of the right things done, is to actually spend the hard work figuring out what are the right things that you want to get done, and then actually spend the work putting things on the calendar, committing to them, finding other people to hold you accountable to them. See, only through doing the work can you connect and figure out ways to continue to grow. Only by doing the work can you continue to get more energy alignment, more focus alignment, and more productivity alignment. Because the truth is, what most of us want is a magic wand. We want it all to just get better and to be fixed. But it doesn't work like that. You actually have to put in the work. You actually have to put in the time. You actually have to find accountability partners. You actually have to do the things that cause the change. And so blaming it on time management, if I just got more disciplined, if I just got more willpower, if I just got more time in my day, everything would work. But the truth is, even if you opened up more time, you would waste it. I saw a meme the other day that said, back in 2019, I believed if I could only get a month or so at home without interruptions, my house would be organized and everything would be clean. And then in 2020, I discovered, nope, that's not it. Because they had to spend the time and the house didn't get clean. See, the truth is, it's not about the time you have. It's about how you choose to spend it. What do you do with your time? How are you taking control of yourself? And that's what a coach really helps someone to do. If you're interested in learning more, you can always reach out to me over at inspiredstewardship.com and find out more about coaching there. And I'd love to hear how you struggled with time management as well. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much for listening to the Inspired Stewardship podcast. As a subscriber and listener, we challenge you to not just sit back and passively listen, but act on what you've heard and find a way to live your calling. If you enjoyed this episode, please do us a favor. Go over to inspiredstewardship.com/iTunes rate, all one word, iTunes rate. It'll take you through how to leave a rating and review and how to make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so that you can get every episode as it comes out in your feed. Until next time, invest your time, your talent, and your treasures. Develop your influence and impact the world.